Testing, testing. Hey guys, welcome back. It has been quite a while. Life has gotten very, very busy. We are having our baby literally in T-minus 6 days. By next Friday, Saturday, baby will be here. And that means the amount of time I have will be next to fucking zip. But fear not, I have not given up on this channel. Now, there's a few things I want to talk about. And I want to lay down a timeline of events first. So Yu-Gi-Oh! We've been doing the regionals, box tournaments, locals and stuff. About a month ago, it stopped. And what's the reason for that? Because we did slow down on the content. Well, life got busy. We did get a job. There's been a lot of prep work for baby, things around the apartment that didn't get done. You know, my wife being pregnant, she really can't physically do a whole lot. She's still capable, obviously, because she's the most amazing woman ever. But, you know, it's been more helping out, doing a lot more chores, picking up a lot of the slack, so to speak. We've been getting back into the gym because I want to make sure that, you know, I'm as healthy as I can be for my daughter. So between the gym and work and just life in general, we've been busy. And this is something, like I said, I always do just for fun. And I've missed doing it, and that's why I'm doing it now, because I definitely have some exciting news. We're not giving up Yu-Gi-Oh! We're definitely taking a break from Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. And why is that? San Antonio's locals are very toxic with Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. It's a lot of Lunalite players, it's a lot of stun players, it's a lot of just, lack of better words, a personal opinion of mine, I think the community here is super toxic. Between people that are fucking know-it-alls or get butt hurt or that find any tech choice to make the game unplayable, it's fucking annoying, and I was sick of it. I have sold my Yummy, I have sold the Mitsu, I've sold everything, but I have not sold the White Forest. We still have a fully built White Forest. We have a 60 card version. There's other decks that I've also have fully built. I have 2 Genesis decks. I have Exodia going second, fully built as well. Max rarity, I guess you could say, with the Starlights. But we still have Yu-Gi-Oh! And we still don't mind playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a very unique thing. And I've learned that recently because we have branched into other card games recently. Now don't fear, I'm still gonna be doing content. The content just may be different. And if you're here for Yu-Gi-Oh! Content, it will be coming. Probably not for another 3 months, probably, because baby and work and life, it's gonna be super busy. This will be the last thing on my mind, and I don't think I'll even have the energy to do this. Maybe I can find an editor, someone that can just edit these videos, but I wanted to give my thoughts on the transition into another card game. So like I said, I left Yu-Gi-Oh! Alone for a little bit because it just became toxic. People were finding different floodgates. We had that emergency ban list, and these fucking gremlins in the dark corners of the room found more cards that K9 can play, Yummy Mitsu can play, all these other cards, and it's just like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has so many cards printed, and the game is so old, and there's so many old cards that just break the game. They can't ban everything. They can only do these ban lists in the hope that they slowly work at it, and it's gonna take a while. But I definitely think Yu-Gi-Oh! As a card game is headed in the right direction between now seeing the decks for the Charmers reprinting the Mseti core. We have common Mulchummies. We have Rarity 5 coming around the corner, which who didn't fucking see that coming? I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is still headed in a good direction. I think the other decks now, like Killer Tune and shit, are out now. Nobody gives a rat's ass about it. They're not real decks. Again, I think they're headed in the right direction because pricing is getting better, decks are getting cheaper, decks are getting more fun to play and also more fun to play against. The difference between Snake Eye and Malice Rizal is insanely different. The Draco Tail, Yummy, Canines, like nothing is just so stupid in Yu-Gi-Oh! That being printed now that it's you can't play. Now, of course, there will always be the best deck in the room. Yummy Mitsu is just an insanely consistent deck. Anything is a 1-card combo. Everyone's playing it. but we definitely got burnt out from it. Going to all the locals and regionals and box tournaments and blah, 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 we definitely did get burned out from it. And who can blame me? I went hard at it for what, 2.5 years. It was still fun. It's still a fun game. When Jacob said, hey, come try this out, and we were very hesitant for a while, but once we kind of started seeing things in a different light, we did make a jump, and we made a huge jump because we sold a lot of stuff to fund the new stuff. We sold a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh to fund this new card game. Now, if you stuck around this long listening to me just bullshit and rant, you probably can guess the game we went to. No, it's not Riftbound. Holy shit. But One Piece, baby. Now, I know just by seeing this, you're probably like, holy fuck, he went Emu first deck and has the alt art. You're goddamn right I did. I did it because it is a cheap deck, and given that I didn't know nothing of anything, didn't even know how to play the game, the guys on the team were like, hey, this is kind of like the best deck in the room, super cheap, and it allows you to learn the game and easier to get into. I was like, fuck it, why not? You know, I'll take it. I think the deck overall, the alt art itself, I paid like 60 bucks for, but the deck itself was probably like 30 bucks, 40 bucks, if that. We did get Stussies because that was the time when people were playing the Stussie to get rid of the Edwards against Ace, and yeah, we play One Piece now. And actually, I just came back right now. It is 1:13 in the morning. I came back about an hour ago from our second One Piece locals. We actually went last Friday, and I wanted to record a video on my thoughts on my first locals with One Piece. We did 2-2, so 2 wins, 2 losses. And today we didn't do so hot. We went 2-3, but my losses weren't complete losses. They were definitely against decks that I haven't seen before. Definitely struggled in the Emu mirror match today because I had 3 Emu matches. It's definitely awkward doing the Emu mirror match because it's better hands, who's better at managing resources. It doesn't feel like, the thing I like about One Piece is it doesn't feel like anybody just automatically loses. And if you play One Piece and you're watching this and you're like, fuck that, you play Emu, your opinion is trash, well, hold on now. I just told you I went 2-2 and 2-3. Now, I've been hitting the simulator like crazy. I've been, play testing and play testing and play testing. I went into my first locals knowing what my deck does and what I'm supposed to do and the rules of the game. I wasn't a complete noob. I'm autistic. I studied that shit. In One Piece, everybody has that fighting chance, and each deck is so unique and different in what it does because there's no bullshit like floodgates. There's no hand traps. There's no, oh, I'm gonna rest 10 Dawn and try to play this. Actually, this card, I'm gonna play it from my hand and says you can't. Both players have a fair amount of interaction, and some decks have more interaction than others. And all the colors do their own thing. Like, if you want something that's hyper aggressive, play red. If you want something that just doesn't care about the characters too much and just deals with life directly, play yellow. Black manipulates just knockout, or being able to manipulate the cost of stuff. Removal. It's like you can pick your play style, and then you can pick your leader based on that. Like, if you want something where you manage resources, or like Zoro, then you can play green, and there's no saying like, oh, you can't play this card. The only thing you can't do is play a color other than your leader, which, if you play One Piece, you already know. But to those that don't, and you watch this and you only play Yu-Gi-Oh, give One Piece a chance. It's very unique, and it is a lot of fun. And you don't need to play the best deck in the room to have fun. You also don't need to play the best deck in the room just to win. Like, I've lost against decks that I've never even heard of, and I just misplayed, or I played bad, or you caught me in an awkward position and there's nothing I can do about it. But One Piece is definitely fun because you have your resources. You only have a certain amount of Dawn per turn. And once they're rested, obviously there's decks like you know, green that manipulate the dawn. Purple manipulates dawn as well in different ways. They each have their own uniqueness to them. And what's even more interesting is that there's multicolored leaders. So you can have different combinations of like blue, purple, black, red, you know, green, yellow. There's all different types of crazy combinations, different leaders, different cards, different combinations of cards too, especially once you get to the multicolored and you open up the gates for like, this is a really good blue card, but it doesn't fit in this blue yellow deck that I want, but it's a really good card still. So maybe I can play it because the only thing that you have to manage is Dawn. Now there's definitely more decks that are like more cohesive and more fluent with one another. You know, the cards back and forth kind of complement each other in a way. Yeah, I'm really loving One Piece. I really love that I'm getting into it. The first deck we did build is Emu because it was cheap, it's good, it's accessible, it's taught me a lot, and I've definitely been able to win. I would say out of all the games I played, including on the simulator, there's been like a handful of games I won just because it's Emu. There's plenty of times where I'm fighting for my life, or they don't make it easy, because One Piece isn't easy. Learning the rules and everything is, but it's knowing that you can attach your resources to your characters to make them bigger, but then you don't have as many resources to summon new characters, or maybe use an event to play on the defensive. So you definitely sit there and just kind of play chess, if you will. You're looking at all your board pieces and seeing what is my best option here for the current situation I'm in. And I really like that about One Piece. It keeps you thinking. It's not like Yu-Gi-Oh where you draw 5 and you just are like, well, I don't have a single hand trap or fua, and your opponent just pops off and you're like, well, I didn't get to do anything. That's fucking cool. I just watched a fucking YouTube combo tutorial on Yamimitsu and got steamrolled because you set up 13 fucking interactions on my goddamn turn. And that's another thing about One Piece that I love so much is that you draw your opening hand, and if you don't see one of your starters, which they are really starters, like all the starters are like 1 cost, 2 cost, sometimes 3 cost, and the starters themselves are also useful. You don't get to stop your opponent from playing. You both slowly ramp up. If you also don't see one of your starters in hand, you can mulligan. You can just shuffle them back and draw another 5. You only do it once, but at least it gives you the chance of like, oh my god, I had the worst luck with this first hand, and then at least if this hand is completely unplayable because of the resources, they're all 7 cost, 8 cost, 9 cost, 10 cost, or they're all your events, then it's like I at least get a chance to mix it up and not deal with that hand. And even when you take a hit in One Piece, you gain a card because of it. So you gain resources even though you're closer to losing, you're given another resource to maybe that resource has a trigger or can get you out of the situation you're in, or it's just one of the cards you needed. It's a really unique game. I love it, and I can see why a lot of people, a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, had that mass exodus to One Piece from Yu-Gi-Oh. It's a different format now than it was back then that people are leaving for, but what's coming on the horizon in this first quarter of 2026 for One Piece is great, and I can't wait for it. It's a very diverse format, and people can bitch and moan all day that like it's just Emu and Ace running all around. Well, they're just kind of stupid consistent decks that are a lot of fun, and you can't blame people for that. A lot of people just share that opinion, and you go to your locals and it's nothing but Emu and Ace. Well, I'm sorry, but those decks also have weaknesses. Ace is only 3 life. You play Yamato and you hit them early on and you just steamroll them, you get them before they get to 10 anyways. So like, it didn't even matter. I really been enjoying it. I have been. Unfortunately, today was probably the last time in a good while I will be going to any locals because we will be so busy with baby and life and work and friends and family, and it's the holidays and end of the year, bunch of stuff going on. So I don't think I will have the time to put into this. But I definitely feel like I owed you guys an explanation on what's been going on. But again, this is very much just, I do this for fun. I'm not trying to get big on YouTube. I'm not trying to be an influencer in it. If it happens over the course of whatever, cool, it happens. I just say this more as like almost therapy to myself, whether you guys watch this or not, I appreciate the views and I appreciate the feedback and the comments and everything. I love all that because y'all are people and I love talking to people and interacting with people. But I just want to keep it real as to where I'm coming from and what I want all this to be. This will be a channel that will be doing One Piece and Yu-Gi-Oh as well, because I definitely have all the equipment still. As you can see, we still got the microphones, we still got the camera and lights and everything. We still can do videos, and we will be doing One Piece locals. We will be doing Yu-Gi-Oh locals. We will be doing Yu-Gi-Oh stuff eventually, because the time we come back to Yu-Gi-Oh, there will be interesting stuff out, and Burst Protocol will be out. I don't know what the fuck's coming in February. At the end of February is probably when I'll kind of start trickling back into like the local scene of Yu-Gi-Oh and One Piece, and I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss it. It's gonna be a while before I, you know, go to any locals, do any sort of card playing, but until then, guys, I appreciate you guys that have stuck around and that have stayed subscribed. This channel, like I said, will be doing both Yu-Gi-Oh and One Piece, because I do have some content for Yu-Gi-Oh as well that I want to put out. It's talking about cards coming in the future, cards coming out in Burst Protocol, what I think of the current format, some interesting tech choices, right? Because we're all about our tech choices. Even in One Piece, we're about our tech choices. We picked up a card today, and I think it's gonna do something interesting. And you know me, I like changing it up. Before this video becomes too long, again, thank you guys for being here, for your views, your likes, your comments, everything. And let me know if you guys, how do you guys feel about this? Are you guys wanting to leave because it's not Yu-Gi-Oh? Are you more excited because it's gonna be, you know, a dual channel of One Piece and Yu-Gi-Oh? Do you wanna see just Yu-Gi-Oh? What are you guys' thoughts and opinions? I'm curious, but until then, guys, I will see you guys, a lot of guys. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.